Wanted to tell you that what you felt you had to do. I understand.
There are many aspects of tragedy the Bridgerton characters face, especially for those who make us laugh the most. Here are some of the most heartbreaking moments in the series. Daphne was not allowed to have any children. Since the beginning of the series, Daphne has made it clear that she wanted to get married with love and have a family, pretty much like the average person. But there's just one thing about Daphne, and that is that she's not average. Society expects a lot from her. As the oldest daughter of the Bridgerton family, she's aware that she needs to set an example for her younger sisters. This is why she makes it her main goal to get married for love and have a happy family so that her sisters could follow in her footsteps. Now, even though Daphne does find love with the Duke of Hastings, she still feels incomplete as she wants to create a family also. This created most of the first season's drama when Simon refused to let Daphne have any children. Not understanding Simon's reasoning behind this, Daphne becomes miserable. Simon Bassett's hate against his father ruined him. Ever since the Duke of Hastings was a child, he was taught that love only existed under conditions between two people. When Simon's father ignored Simon after he learned that his son had difficulty speaking, he didn't want anything to do with Simon anymore and even refused to raise him. The more the years passed, the more Simon got mad at his father for somehow abandoning him in life. This caused the Duke of Hastings to refuse any emotional affection from anyone that tried to get close to him, even Daphne, who tried to connect with him at the beginning of the series. This hatred Simon had for his father also led him to deny Daphne an heir and kind of ruin his life by rejecting everyone he met. Eloise couldn't live the life she wanted. This part of the show is really touching. Eloise, who wanted to further her studies and attend university to later become an author, can't actually do that. This character is clearly born in the wrong era because instead of following her passions and serving a purpose to society the way she wants to, she is forced to convince her people that she's an eligible suitor. At one part of the series, we can see Eloise crying to her brother, expressing her sadness toward the fact that, unlike women, men were allowed to attend higher studies if they proved their potential. To her, Whistledown was a free woman with true power and was even able to be published as a woman despite keeping her anonymity. Benedict fails to go for his passions in life. Throughout the series, we can often see Benedict as the most confused about the three siblings. He doesn't really have the big responsibilities his eldest brother has, nor does he have the privileges that his youngest brother lives with. But this is not really the saddest thing about Benedict. It's a fact that he has a burning passion for creating art pieces. However, he does this in private for fear of getting judged. This keeps him from revealing his true talents to the world and continues to grow what he wants to achieve. Daphne's father passing away. Now, we really don't know much about Daphne's father, but what we do know is that he was a good husband and a good father to his wife and children. His death really hit all the family members hard, especially Daphne and her mother. Daphne now has to be at the mercy of her brother when it comes to her life decisions. Anthony's secret love for Sienna. Being the first son of the Bridgertons, Anthony is the heir of the family's property and has a mountain of responsibilities weighing on his shoulders. Not only does he have to stress out about finding a proper husband for all of his sisters, but he also needs to find the most suitable wife for himself so he could properly carry on his family's wealth. The only way to escape all these responsibilities is by spending time with a beautiful opera singer, Sienna Rosso, who is clearly lower than his status. This led Anthony to keep their relationship a secret until his feelings became dangerously strong to the point where he could ruin his reputation. So they eventually separated, leaving Anthony crushed and heartbroken. Violet's heartbreaking loss. Violet is the kind of character that perfectly represents the era where people believe perception was much more important than what was real. She strongly believes that what most of society thinks to be true is far more important than what is actually happening behind closed doors. This is in fact how she has trained her first daughter Daphne to think as well. But giving priority to perception rather than reality made the bond between mother and daughter really vague. They barely knew each other at all until one day when their conversation got too overboard and they started opening up about how reality was. This is the moment that Daphne learns that her mother had been suffering ever since her father passed away, but she was just too good at hiding it in front of everybody. Lady Danbury watched her closest friend pass away. Throughout the series, Lady Danbury is more of a surrogate mother to Simon, but the reason the two share such a close bond together is far more tragic. Lady Danbury was there when Simon's mother, who was also her best friend, passed away while she was giving birth to Simon. On the other hand, Simon's father was not really caring about his wife's health, but he was more stressed out about whether his family would finally have an heir or not. Witnessing this, Lady Danbury swore to herself that she would be the one to raise and take care of Simon. Colin being deceived by Marina. Even though he is inexperienced inexperienced and young, Colin tries his best to do the right thing for his family. He kind of catches feelings for Marina, and even though she comes from a family filled with scandal, Colin doesn't really care and starts planning a future with her. But what actually broke Colin was the fact that Marina only got engaged with him because she was carrying another man's child and didn't want the responsibility of creating a family. Marina Thompson marrying someone she didn't love. Marina was always the kind of character that believed in true love and a fairy tale ending, but nothing turned out for her as she was expecting. In fact, her situation led her to get forced into a marriage with a random man if she didn't want the life of a single mother raising her baby alone. Unfortunately, her options were very limited. She soon came to realize that time was running out for her and she needed to find someone to marry who would not question her complicated situation. She then got married to the brother of her lover, whom she barely knew. The fact that this was the brother of her late lover crushed her even more. Making out with the man she loved almost ruined her life. The moment where Simon and Daphne made out was a pretty sensual moment, but it was not something both of them could fully enjoy without fear of getting caught. Kissing Simon in public could have ruined Daphne's reputation and even her life. The thing that made this part even worse was Anthony popping up and being ridiculous by asking Simon to a duel. The only thing Daphne was seen as valuable for was marriage. It is more than obvious that the reputation of the Bridgerton family is a huge deal in the series. In fact, it's such a big deal that it gets us pissed off at times. Thinking that one small mistake or behavior could totally ruin the sisters' future is really heartbreaking. Even though men at that time did also have a lot of responsibilities, their behavior and moral code weren't nearly as strict as to how women had it. Daphne needed to be as stiff as a rock in front of the public's eyes so she would not have to shame herself before getting married. Daphne's worth and respect were tied up with her looks. In the scene where Queen Charlotte gives Daphne more attention as the most good-looking woman of the event, it seemed as if it wasn't anything more than an innocent compliment. However, the reality was much more different. Queen Charlotte was actually doing this to increase Daphne's worth when it comes to bringing her eligible suitors. It all seems like getting married to the perfect prospect is not only based on her high status and morals, but also on the way one looks and dresses. Daphne was forced to sleep with a man. One of the most shocking things to gulp down while watching Bridgerton is the harsh truth about how things used to be in the past. When it came to making love, women weren't taught what it was like until the day they had to actually sleep with someone. This was true to Daphne as well. She wasn't told anything about intercourse, even though the men around her could do it with other women as much as they pleased. During that time, the only time this act was explained to women like Daphne was on the day of their wedding. However, Daphne's mother didn't even bother to explain it to her, and she had to find out the harsh way. Which one of these moments touched you the most? Let us know in the comments and continue watching our next video.